What's up, guys? I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I'm back with yet another XRP update, and today we will talk about all the juicy stuff that's happening to Ripple, XRP, and the XRP community. According to CoinMarketCap.com, XRP is consolidating at the 83-cent level while finding its stability. As always, we welcome you back to Moneyside, your favorite crypto news channel. If you are new here, welcome to the XRP family. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you get notified whenever we put up our daily crypto news updates. To kick things off, we can see this exciting interview shared by XRP Jackson about Rosie Rios. In the video, Rosie says that she is especially pleased by the path of utility that XRP has with cross-border payments. This is such fantastic news to hear. You should definitely listen to what she has to say about the whole concept of cryptocurrencies. Now back to today's topic. We can see in this post by Noella Nix on Twitter that says, Australia's largest banks all crash at the same time. This is why I love crypto. Nothing sus though. Yes guys, some central banks in Australia were hit by a significant telecommunications outage. The Commonwealth Bank, ANZ, Westpac Bank, St. George Bank, and the Reserve Bank of Australia were among those affected, with thousands of customers experiencing technical difficulties from Thursday afternoon. This is another tweet talking about the same event from XRP 27648639. Online banking across several major Australian banks goes down. He shares this picture from Down Detector that shows the banks that were affected by this outage. Source D20 says, what's up with these outages in the States and Australia? He shares these pictures where we can see that websites and major airlines were down. Customers reportedly being unable to use banking apps and online services from about 2:10 p.m. That according to Down Detector, which tracks outage information in real time. At one point, almost 50 entities were experiencing problems. It's understood the issues related to service provider Akami, which provides digital services to some of the world's biggest companies. Comment has been sought from the company. I don't know how you all feel about this, but guys, if this isn't a warning sign for everyone, I don't know what is. You all need to prepare for the great switch that we have all been talking about on this channel. As we've said before, once such events start taking place, things will only start getting crazier. So when things happen, let them find you well prepared. Airlines, banks, stock exchanges, and trading platforms suffered brief website outages early Thursday after a critical piece of internet infrastructure failed, sparking the second significant interruption of the past 10 days. Many of the outages were reported by people in Australia trying to do banking, book flights, and access postal services. Internet monitoring websites including Thousand Eyes, DownDetector.com, and Thing.com showed dozens of disruptions. Banking services were among those heavily disrupted, with Westpac, the Commonwealth Bank, ANZ, and St. George all down, along with the website of the Reserve Bank of Australia, the country's central bank. The Reserve Bank canceled a bond buying operation due to technical difficulties, facing several banks that were to participate. The Australian Post said on Twitter that an external outage had impacted a number of its services. While most services had come back online, it was continuing to monitor and investigate. Virgin Australia said flights were mainly operating as scheduled after restoring access to its website and guest contact center. In a statement on Thursday, it said that it had resolved an IT outage caused by a failure at Akami Technologies, a global content delivery network. Virgin Australia was one of many organizations to experience an outage with the Akami content delivery system. It said, we are working with them to ensure that necessary measures are taken to prevent these outages from reoccurring. Many services were up and running after an hour or so, but the affected companies said they worked overtime to prevent further problems. Akami explained that a bug caused its outage in one of its services that helps mitigate distributed denial of service (DDoS) attacks. Bad actors sent tons of requests to access a website to overwhelm its systems and shut it down. The company said that it detected the issue immediately and alerted customers within seconds. According to the company, Akami took steps to bring many of the 500 customers who were using this service back online within minutes. The company also said a system update or a cyber attack did not cause the issue. But something else far more interesting came up later in the day, and we can see in this tweet from Xanon49426364, which says, now we know why the banks went offline. He further shares a link to this article by u.today with the headlines, new RippleNet-based ODL corridor set up between Australia and Vietnam. Let's quickly go over this article and see what it says. Publicly traded company Lynx Global Digital Finance Corporation has announced that its subsidiary Direct Agent 5, DA5, has kicked off a direct remittance corridor to Vietnam after integration with local payments provider FinFan. The latter is Vietnam's biggest remittance company, and it works on RippleNet. Last year, when the pandemic broke out, FinFan was Vietnam's first neobanking institution that began using RippleNet and the Ripple XRP blockchain network. Now, as a part of the partnership, Lynx and its subsidiary DA5 will have full-scale access to RippleNet for seamless cross-border payments. Remember, guys, this is not just a coincidence. The outage was not just any other coincidence. Something big is definitely cooking up, and as always, let's stay ready. Blockchain Love tweeted, "These walls will come down." He then shares this picture that says, "The world is changing, my friends. The people utilizing the power of the internet are finally able to communicate with each other, and together they are rejecting the shackles that the PTB have tried to place upon the masses. Money shall not be controlled like it has been by unseen hands in dark rooms, for XRP is the spark plug that ignites the engine of a bulldozer of change that will ram right through their walls of stagnation. These walls will come down." Now, that aside, let's talk about how people feel about the SEC and Ripple lawsuit. And we have this one tweet from Reborn13 that says, "If you are selling your XRP right now because you feel that nothing is going to happen short-term with Ripple and the SEC, go and do some more research. Ripple, as big of a fish as they are just one fish in a vast ocean. Don't get caught up in the mainstream news. The bigger picture reveals all." In fact, even Nilo Angelo 13 tweeted, saying, "Like I was saying, the lawsuit isn't something you should be concerned with. That's a distraction." But what this guy is saying here is absolutely true. So many people are so obsessed with the lawsuit that they might fail to see the bigger picture. In fact, we have a good number who think that Ripple is going to lose. But you and I both know that this is all a show. Ripple will win this case. We just have to be patient and wait for the right time when this big event happens. BLE Brock 92 tweeted, "How could people still doubt what's about to happen? It's told to you through the news, riddlers, articles, and movies. This is going to be so epic. XRP. XRP is the chosen coin. And once the switch is flipped, we can all do our little victory dance." Again, here's one from CK113311. He gives us this theory about the XRP settlement. In his tweet, he says, "Theory, XRP to gifted or similar from Ripple to an entity that is non-partisan and non-national when it comes to politics. IMF, I guess. What's happening now? Davos Summit. Who hosts it? WEF, IMF, World Bank, Ripple, Riddler gave us clues in advance of such an event." And as we can see in this picture, now NCJ Rothschild tweeted, "All hell will break loose when the next bubble bursts." But when do you guys think this will be? Somehow I feel that this might be just an understatement, as the central banks will be prepared for the shift in money. There are just so many exciting events happening right now with XRP that once the graph starts moving, there will be no stopping. This will be the moment we have long waited for, and it will all be worth it. As we wind down on today's video, let's take a look at this tweet from Gordon Gecko 369 that says, "They building a narrative, for we know what's coming." He shares this piece from the Wall Street Journal with the headline, "Biden warns on cyber attacks. Navalny's fate in Putin talks." We already know that cyber attacks are coming, and these guys are now just building a narrative for it. Well, that's it for today. As you move along with your day, always remember, your true potential remains hidden within higher levels of consciousness, waiting to be unlocked. With that in mind, let's take a look at the technical analysis of XRP. Here's a quick look at XRP's 4-hour chart. As we can see, the price has printed a falling wedge, and we should see a breakout soon. The best entry would be when the price breaks above the falling wedge with a good amount of volume. My idea is buy the breakout from the falling wedge and take profits at the levels shown in the chart. Profits can also be taken in the resistance zone. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Crypto market of alts has all the potential to 100 times in current conditions, and if we look at the fractals, it is very much possible. And yes, I know that fractals do not guarantee repeated success. However, if we take a look at this bull run, it is very reminiscent of the 2017 bull run, nearly identical in every move. Please keep in mind, we're not a licensed financial advisor. All videos on this channel are intended for entertainment purposes only. Let us know what you think in the comment section below, and let's have a conversation. I appreciate you very much for tuning in. Don't forget to like this video and click on the subscribe button below. Set your notifications so you get informed whenever we post our amazing content. Thanks again, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.